In the previous video, we learned how to install the Netpicker Nautobot plugin. And in this video, we'll try to explore the capabilities of this plugin more, see things such as getting the device backup and running automation jobs. So if you want to understand what this plugin is capable of, I should tell you that this is a plugin that can connect to your devices from Netpicker. It can run configuration backups and store them. Also, we can run and execute automation jobs right from the Nautobot platform. So if I click on Netpicker, the first thing you want to do is connect your Netpicker instance to Nautobot. So if I go to settings, this is my API URL, or basically Netpicker instance. This is my tenant, default in my case. And I've also generated an API key from Netpicker and put it here. Now, if everything goes well, you can test the API, and if it's successful, that means you can successfully import all the data from Netpicker without any problem. So if I go back to Netpicker, go back to devices, sure enough, my devices are here that I just imported from Netpicker. If I go to Netpicker, the devices are showing here, so I know that I've imported the correct devices. Now, the devices are here, but also I can have these devices already set up in Nautobot, and as a result, I can take a look at the configuration backups and configuration difference, or the diff in short. So if I go to devices, I'm going to take a look at this device that I've already set up in Nautobot. So if I go to devices one more time, and this is the same device that I could find from Netpicker. If I click on it, there should be a couple of tabs showing here. So let me zoom out a little bit. A couple of extra tabs are showing backups and change history, and that's because we've installed the plugin. Now, if I go to backups, these are all my backups that I collected from Netpicker. If I click on one of them, for example, this one, the last one, sure enough, the backup is showing here. This is basically the output of the show run command. Now, the next thing is the other one, change history or config diff, which are denoted by two colors, so I know what was deducted and what was added. And these are for all the backups. Now I'm going to go back to Netpicker and I'll show you the next feature, which is automation jobs. But before, we can also take a look at config search. So basically, this is going to find patterns and matches based on what I try to search. And this is going to go through all the configuration backups for all the devices for the matches. For example, if I search for NTP and hit enter, these are all the NTP matches that I could find from any backup, from any time, and for any device. In this case, Arista switch has 3 occurrences. 40 or Fortinet device has many occurrences, and it doesn't have to be exactly like the NTP CLI commands. It could be anywhere in the configuration. And as you can see, we have way more NTP occurrences down here. So again, that was for config search through the backups. Now, automation jobs is the next exciting feature. This is gonna use the automation jobs from Netpicker based on the variables and the definitions. We can run and execute the automation jobs, which are going to configure the devices most of the time. You can also run show commands, but it is mostly used for device configurations right from Nautobot without having to go to Netpicker and do it from there. Now, for example, for the start, I can take a look at default NTP job, and this is the name. This is the platform that is going to be executing against, and the commands are going to be 2 commands: NTP server 1, which is a variable, and again \n, which means the next line. The second command would be NTP server, and NTP server 2, which is again the second variable. If I click on execute job, I have to fill in first devices. These are the Cisco iOS devices because we specify Cisco iOS as a platform. And NTP server 1 and 2 are the actual variables we're going to fill in. And when we render the command, we are going to send the full a completed command. And in order to see whether our job was successful or not, I can go back here, go back to automation logs, and from here I can see all the logs for all the previous jobs. If I click on, for example, this one, which was a success, by the way, as you can see from the status here, it was a success. So if I click on it, I can see its metadata and a thorough login, so I know what was happening. So that was about the capabilities and features of the Netpicker plugin in Nautobot. See you in the next one.